It's now a derelict website. We had that as an ode to Drudge, but don't have the personnel, so we don't really even update that site. It's kind of an emergency backup out there in case they ever seize our other servers or domains. We've got Jones Report, Infowars.net, and a few other little juicies out there. But the point is that it says neo-Nazi rally was organized by FBI informant. And it's got him being questioned. He admits he's an FBI operative. This is the same area of Orlando where they always have the white supremacist on record Orlando Sentinel run by the government marching through the black neighborhoods on a yearly basis trying to start a race war. So it's a key beta test area. Now they have the Black Panthers, the new Black Panthers, saying kill Whitey, there's not enough blood, burn down Orlando, and they don't get in trouble. They're on record saying murder white people, burn down Florida, nobody gets in trouble. That's because NBC's caught editing tapes of where 911's like, yes, Mr. Zimmerman, is he black, Hispanic, white, what color? Well, he, looks like he's black. They edit that into the earlier tape where they're like, yeah, he's acting weird, walking around in circles. He's either up to no good or on something. They edit it together. Yeah, he looks like he's black. He's bad. I mean, these are cold-blooded crooks. NBC is in bed more than anybody with Obama. I mean, they want a race war here. And I've already gotten into Hal Turner being a federal agent. That came out. Only federal agents are allowed to say stuff like that, okay? If you got up on air, even on a small station, and said, burn down buildings, start killing white people or black people, and if you weren't a Fed, you would be arrested within 12 hours. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Happens all the time. You're not a Fed, you go to jail. You're a Fed, you can do whatever you want, and they are Feds, 100%, or they're useful idiots. And here's the latest article by Patrick Henningsen, who's been on fire lately. SPLC on new Black Panthers. There's no such thing as hate speech. Patrick Henningsen and Aaron Dykes, and they interviewed him yesterday. He called up and got Lord Potok. Hey, I want to call Potok ourselves and invite him on the show, the head creature over there. I heard some interesting things about Potok off the record from some people that work there. They're like, oh, he's a nice guy. He's a... I'm not even going to go there. Anyways, go back to... Okay, well, if you are a nice guy, then repent, Potok. I mean, I was told how... I'm not even going to get into it. It'll give away who it is. The point is that you guys helped set up the Elohim City group and the whole McVeigh thing, and that got covered up. And you're involved in so much of the stuff, and now you're not saying the new Black Panther Party is bad. I keep saying new. It's new Black Panther, not old Black Panther. It's a totally different group. This is the new federal idiot group. I'm not defending perfectly everything the old Black Panthers did, but they did some good. This is the federal model of that. I take you now to Patrick Henningsen. Patrick, this is a big deal. Tell us about your conversation with him, and I want you to call him back and record the conversation and let him know you're doing it. Tell us about your stroke of genius, which I ought to do. That's common sense, actually, calling up Lord Potok and what he said to you.
Yeah, I called Mark Potok and spoke to Southern Poverty Law Center, and the conversation started. I wanted confirmation from the Southern Poverty Law Center that there were, in fact, neo-Nazi armed patrols marauding through the streets of Stanford, and rightly so, he denied that those reports were true, and of course we debunked that yesterday.
Well, no, they're attacking people, and they're obviously Fed-run.
So I said to him,
see, they don't want to get that shut down. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I asked him directly. I said, what about this radio broadcast with the new Black Panthers calling for blood in the streets, get suited and booted, kill Cracker, and so forth? I said, and a dead or alive bounty on the head of George Zimmerman for $10,000. And he said, I said, is this not hate speech? Can these people be arrested? He said, there's no such thing as hate speech. He's all because
this is the group that pushes that Soviet idea of the speech. No, it's a terroristic threat, racketeering, but obviously what they would call hate speech. So now Mr. Hate Speech says it doesn't exist.
Yeah, they're selective. They're targeting citizen militia groups, particularly Minuteman groups all over the country.
Who actually aren't racist and didn't do anything, like the Hatari, who said, I hope things don't get much worse. We may have to defend ourselves.
Exactly. Aaron and I broke that down completely in an article that's up on Infowars.com right now. But the breaking news, Alex, for the Zimmerman case, special prosecutor is going to announce on Wednesday that Zimmerman will be charged, but not with first-degree murder, okay? And this has been controlled right back to
Wait, stop. Where? Because you have a source inside who said that they weren't going to charge him with the murder or manslaughter or Capital One or any of those different variants. But I guess now, because of pressure or worried about stuff, or maybe the locals understand that Obama wants to have a race war breakout, that they're going to charge him, what, with a weapons charge? Or where'd you get this information?
I've got a source, a judge inside the Central Florida court system in Sanford, okay? So this is right in the heart of what's going on. Now,
wait, this is breaking here. You're saying you have a judge who's told you that he will be charged. Tell us what it is.
Well, they said that there might be a grand jury or a charge, but it's not going to be for first-degree murder. Now, this has just broken in the Washington Post about 10 minutes ago as well. And Washington Post has said, it's all over the news media right now, that Zimmerman will be charged. Now, the special prosecutor, Corey, in Sanford, she hasn't specified what that charge is going to be. So this does follow along the earlier leads and information that I got that said that this is being directed by the Department of Justice. Zimmerman's lawyers have been ordered off the case. They say they've dismissed themselves, but they have been ordered off the case. There's going to be there's a new lawyer on, and Zimmerman's been transferred out of state. He's out of Florida right now. Now,
what exactly were you told by the judge? And I mean, how do we know he's right?
Well, he gave me his best prediction, which was that this is going to move away from a racial themed event
to anti-gun.
Yes. No, well, to redefining self-defense as far as the Florida laws are concerned, and this could have effects nationally. But that, of course, as we know, is an entree into a Second Amendment. And this is something Obama is going to do in his second term. And also,
well, that's what they've been planning. So now they're going to make it where, like England, you can't even shoot somebody in your own house, basically.
Yeah, Obama can't do this in his first term. He has to wait till after the election. This whole George Zimmerman, Trayvon Martin escapade is basically softening the soil for what's coming in the second term, which is an attack on gun restrictions for starters, and that's obviously knocking on the door of the Second Amendment. But the important thing here, Alex, is Obama, when he said, when I have a son, if I had a son, he'd look like Trayvon Martin. That wasn't a random comment. When the President of the United States comments on a ongoing investigation that has nothing to do with the federal government, how would Ron Paul comment on that?
Well, look at MSNBC and editing audio. I mean, these people are incredible. So you're saying you talked to a judge that is in the town, and he said it's his prediction, or the intel he's got is they're going to try some gun charge?
No, he said they're going to revisit the stand your ground law. And
I know, but did he give you any hint of what type of charge they're going to have for Zimmerman?
He didn't give me any hint on charge. I think that's going to be up to the special prosecutor. But my guess is that it's going to be a gun charge. It's not going to be a first-degree murder charge. Now, basically, the whole point of this is this stinks all the way up to Washington D.C. And this
look at Mexico. They had the leader of that just last week say, "Ban your guns. You cause our violence." No, the drugs your government helps produce do it, and the guns our government shipped in do it. They plan to blame that. So now they make it a civil rights issue. This has already begun, where blacks are like, hand the guns in or you're racist.
Yeah, and it's going to be a controlled, staged trial, which is going to be like an O.J. Simpson kind of circus. And in the end, it's quite likely that Zimmerman will be he won't be charged with any first-degree murder charge, but it will open up a whole national conversation to be dominated on CNN, Fox, NBC, and all the rest of it to talk about gun restrictions in America. And this is an entree into Obama's second term, where the DOJ wants to do some serious damage to the Second Amendment. And Obama did not say that randomly, that comment about Trayvon looking like his son. That was engineered. As you can see, Eric Holder has come and intervened in what is a Florida affair. It's not a federal matter at all. It's nothing to do with the FBI, no interstate trafficking, nothing. So we can see right here exactly what it is. It's a top-down engineered, controlled event.
All right, well, we're going to watch. They have announced this morning, the 72-hour announcement, so we'll know in 2.5 days from now, and we'll find out if your judge friend is accurate in this. But they've got 4 witnesses saying that Zimmerman was being attacked by Trayvon Martin.
And there's something else, Alex. There's a story, and the reason this won't fly in the grand jury, a year ago, this is according to the police department, George Zimmerman helped a homeless black man who was beaten by the son of a policeman, and it was covered up. And Zimmerman went to black churches and eventually got a help to get a conviction against a policeman's son.
That's right, and he marched in the groups. No, it's all a total made-up psyop. And it's going to be used to go after our guns. The NRA got the intel that he does plan to ban semi-autos, physical holding of them. I mean, we're talking actual confiscation next administration. And folks, believe me, you've seen all this other tyranny. They will try or do anything. Patrick, thank you so much. Really appreciate you spending time with us in that breaking news here. Let's jam in a few more phone calls here. Jay in California. Jay, you're on the air.
Alex.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, awesome what you're doing with Sean Stone. Why I'm so excited to be on, and I've kind of been wanting to get on the last couple weeks when it hit me listening to your show and Lynn LaRouche. That this is everything. If he doesn't get impeached before the election, it's everything. But this is the way that we can really do it legally. It's Obama's first order of business, and I know you covered it back at the time. Executive Order 13489. Everybody can look it up. And it was literally changing the National Archive of the executive branch so that every bit of his record is expunged. If we can expose that or make a congressional inquiry into that.
No, you're right. And he's the guy that said he would be the most transparent. I mean, it's a new level of deception and lying. That's why we've got to move to impeach him, to rebuke all this and say it's illegal. That's why we've launched Impeach Obama 2012, join the national campaign, big red link up at Infowars.com. Please help us, folks. And you're absolutely right. Kurt Nimmo in his article about this mentions that. We've got to say no. Even if we don't get the impeachment, we rebuke it in the court of public opinion. When they try to restrict our Second Amendment, we say, you're terrorists that ship guns into Mexico. You create the crisis. You edit the 911 tapes. You create the crises. Don't do it anymore.
That's it. And that's such a huge thing that if everybody understood that he changed the rules, we can go back and look at every other president's history. This president, as a matter of national security, said that his history is erased.
No, I hear you, and I appreciate the points. Very good call. Look, if you put it all together, it's insane, the amount of tyranny. I mean, it is wild what's going on. They tell Congress, you don't get to know about the NSA now. I mean, Congress is the government. It's the purse. We're going to launch wars. The UN said so. Congress is told, shut up. The TSA is grabbing children's genitals. I mean, it's all off the chart. They're attacking us with chemicals and biologicals, with the food and water, all of it. Before we end this hour, I just want to encourage everybody to go get the video. It's free, and spread it around to everybody you know. It's at Infowars.com. The link is right there. Impeach Obama 2012. Join the national campaign. Okay? Just get the video. Send the link out to everybody. Send the article Nemo did. Send it out to everyone. In fact, show them the front page of Infowars briefly. Also, if you want to financially support us in the operation here and all the stuff we face and help us build up our operation, go to InfowarsTeam.com, and it just heads above the rest. Super vitamin and mineral mixes like Beyond Tangy Tangerine that has all the trace elements and stuff. There's nothing like it out there. I've taken other vitamins, minerals. There's nothing even close to this. InfowarsTeam.com. Sign up as a distributor, get discounts, buy it in bulk. And, of course, your purchase does support what we do here, and I want to thank everybody that's involved in that. InfowarsTeam.com. There's also a number, 877-551-1301. There on the site as well. Infowars Team, that's one word, InfowarsTeam.com. Don't forget the nightly news tonight. I should put a plug in for that. I'll be hosting it. And we've got the one, the only Gerald Salente on with us to track all of this as